Let me tell you something real. Your 20s are the most powerful decade of your life. Not because you have everything figured out, but because every choice you make right now multiplies over time. Every dollar you save, every habit you build, every skill you learn, they don't just add up, they compound. Think about it. Someone who invests just $100 a month in their 20s can retire with more than someone who starts in their 30s and invests twice as much. That's not magic, that's math. And it's the math of momentum. Because here's the truth. In your 20s, time is your biggest asset. You can make mistakes. You can start small. But what you can't afford is to do nothing. So if you've ever thought, I'll worry about money later, stop. Later is built by what you do today. In the next 20 minutes, I'll show you the key money milestones that'll set you up not just to survive your 20s, but to own your 30s, cruise through your 40s, and retire free. This isn't about being rich tomorrow. It's about creating options for life. Let's start right now. Here's the thing. Your 20s feel like this weird mix of chaos and possibility, right? You're just figuring out who you are, maybe finishing school, starting your first job, moving cities, and money. It's somewhere on that long list of things you'll deal with later. But here's the truth. Your 20s are actually the best time to build financial habits, not because you're earning a lot, but because you're learning fast. Think of it like this. Imagine you're pushing a snowball down a hill. At first, it's tiny, awkward, slow, maybe even rolling in the wrong direction. But once it gets moving, that snowball starts picking up size and speed. That's your financial life. The earlier you start rolling it, the bigger it gets later, even if it's just a few small pushes in the beginning. Let's say you're 23 and you start saving just $50 a month. That's like skipping one dinner out. It doesn't feel like much, but it's not about the money, it's about training your brain to think long term. By the time you're 30, you've built the habit, and that habit can handle bigger amounts, smarter investments, and way less stress. Meanwhile, people who wait until things calm down, or they make more money, they end up trying to sprint up the same hill later, and trust me, pushing that snowball uphill at 35 is a whole different workout. So don't overthink it. Don't wait for perfect conditions. You don't need to be rich to start, you just need to start. Because your 20s aren't about mastering money. They're about learning how to respect it. Next, let's talk about your first real financial safety net, your emergency fund, and why it's your best friend when life throws its first curveball. Okay, let's talk about one of the most unsexy but absolutely life-changing parts of personal finance, the emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is exactly what it sounds like, money set aside for when life decides to throw a tantrum. It's not for vacations, not for gadgets, not for, I just really wanted sushi tonight. It's for real emergencies, losing a job, a flat tire, your laptop dying the week before finals, or a surprise medical bill. The goal is simple. You want at least 3 to 6 months of basic expenses tucked away. But here's the key, don't get overwhelmed by that number. You build it piece by piece. Start with $100, then $500, then shoot for $1,000. That first $1,000 is like your personal safety shield, the difference between, this sucks, and, I'm screwed. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, got her first job right out of college. She started putting away $50 every paycheck. After a year, she had about $1,200 saved. Then, out of nowhere, her car broke down. The repair cost, $900. She didn't panic, she didn't swipe a credit card. She just paid it, took a breath, and kept going. That's the power of an emergency fund. It gives you options when life gets messy. It's not just about money, it's about peace of mind. And here's the thing, when you have that safety net, you start making better financial decisions. You're not reacting out of fear, you're planning from confidence. So if you're listening right now thinking, I barely have enough to save, start small. Save something. Because that small something is what separates a setback from a full-blown financial disaster. Now that you've built your financial safety shield, let's talk about the next big step. Getting rid of the thing that quietly drains your progress, high-interest debt. Let's be real, debt happens. Most of us didn't learn about interest rates before we got our first credit card. But here's the hard truth. High-interest debt is the single biggest weight holding your money back. Credit cards, payday loans, store cards, they look small at first. But that 20% interest rate, It quietly turns every $1,000 you owe into $1,200, then $1,400, then $2,000 if you ignore it long enough. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much money you pour in, it keeps leaking out. But don't panic, this isn't about guilt. It's about getting control back. Here's how you do it. There are two main strategies people swear by: collision, the snowball method. You list all your debts, smallest to largest. Then you pay off the smallest one first, while making minimum payments on the rest. Each time you knock one out, you gain momentum. That little win gives you confidence, like crossing off something huge on your to-do list. This method works great if you need quick motivation. If you like seeing progress early, this is your move. Fire the avalanche method. Here, you pay off the highest interest debt first, the one that costs you the most. It's slower to feel rewarding at first, but mathematically, it saves you more money long term. Less interest means more cash stays in your pocket, simple as that. Whichever method you choose, the key is focus. Don't try to tackle everything at once. Pick a plan and commit. Set up automatic payments, cut back on just one small luxury a week, and throw that extra $20 or $50 at your highest priority debt. And remember, getting out of debt isn't about punishment, it's about freedom. Every payment is you buying your way out of stress, out of limitation, and into opportunity. Because the moment those balances hit zero, you don't just free your wallet, you free your future income. And that money, it starts working for you instead of against you. Next, we're moving from surviving to building, the milestone that turns time into your greatest ally: investing early. Here's the deal: you don't need to be rich to invest. You need time, because in investing, time isn't just a number, it's a superpower. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine two friends. Alex starts investing $100 a month at age 22. Jordan waits until age 32 to start, 10 years later. They both earn the same 8% annual return. When they both turn 62, Alex, who started in their early 20s, has around $140,000. Jordan, who waited until their 30s, just about $56,000. Same monthly amount, same return, only difference: time. That's the magic of compound growth. Your money earns interest, and then that interest starts earning interest, and it just snowballs. It's like planting a tree: the sooner you plant it, the sooner it starts giving shade. Now, if the word investing makes your brain want to tap out, don't worry. You don't need to know every stock ticker or spend hours glued to charts. You just need to understand one simple principle: own small pieces of many good companies, and let time do the work. That's where index funds and ETFs come in. They're basically baskets that hold hundreds of different stocks. Instead of trying to guess the next big winner, you own a tiny piece of everything. If the economy grows, your basket grows too. And here's the best part: it's simple and automatic. You can invest through your employer's retirement plan, or use an app that lets you buy ETFs with just a few dollars. Set it up once, automate it, and then forget about it for a while. The trick isn't timing the market, it's time in the market. Even if you start with $25 a month, seriously, the point is to start. You're building momentum, training consistency, and letting your money quietly multiply behind the scenes. So next time you think it's not enough to matter, remember, every dollar you invest today is like sending a little worker into your future, and they never stop working for you. Next, we'll shift gears and talk about how to increase your income, because saving is great, but earning more gives you real financial flexibility and faster progress. Saving is defensive, earning more is offense. And if your 20s are about anything, they're about learning how to play offense. Let's get one thing straight: increasing your income doesn't mean working yourself into burnout or chasing every side hustle on TikTok. It means investing in yourself, in your skills, your network, and your confidence. Let's break it down into 3 moves. Light bulb 1. Skill development. Learn what the market values. Your 20s are the perfect time to learn skills that compound just like money. Coding, copywriting, marketing, design, project management. Pick one lane, go deep, and get good at it. You don't have to go back to school, the internet is your classroom. Free courses, YouTube tutorials, mentorships, they're everywhere. Every new skill you build makes you more valuable to employers or clients. Think of skills as your personal stock portfolio. The more you build, the more they grow your future income. PC2. Side hustles. Build small, grow fast. The average millionaire has multiple streams of income. Your 20s are a playground for experimentation, freelancing, selling digital products, tutoring, photography, reselling, content creation. Pick something that excites you and try it. The goal isn't to make thousands overnight, it's to learn how to earn outside of your paycheck. Because once you do that once, your confidence skyrockets. Let me give you an example. Meet Tanya, a 25-year-old barista who loved design. She started creating logos for small businesses on weekends, charging $50 each. Within 6 months, she was earning more from her designs than her shifts. 2 years later, she quit her job, went full-time freelance, and now mentors other creatives doing the same. She didn't win the lottery, she just decided to start small and stay consistent. Handshake 3. Negotiation. Don't be afraid to ask. When you get that new job offer or performance review, don't just say, "Thank you." Say, "I'd like to discuss the compensation." Seriously, most employers expect negotiation, and even a 5 to 10% raise now compounds across every future job and investment. You don't need to be aggressive, just informed. Know your value, research salary ranges, and ask with confidence. The real milestone isn't just earning more money, it's realizing you can create your own opportunities. Every new skill, side hustle, or negotiation is another step toward financial independence. So stop waiting for the perfect chance, build it. Your 20s are your launchpad. Use them to level up your income, your mindset, and your freedom. Up next, we'll talk about something that ties it all together, budgeting and cash flow. Because earning more is powerful, but knowing where it goes is what turns income into real wealth. Alright, I know what you're thinking. Budgeting, ugh. Sounds boring, but here's the thing, budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. Seriously, it's not about saying no to everything. It's about knowing where your money goes so you can say yes to the stuff that actually matters. Think of a budget like Google Maps for your money. You can drive anywhere you want, but without a map, you're just burning gas and hoping you end up somewhere good. Budgeting gives you direction. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Bar graph the 50-30-20 rule, simple and effective. Here's the easiest way to start. No spreadsheets, no stress, 50% for needs, rent, bills, groceries, gas. 30% for wants, fun stuff like streaming, restaurants, travel, hobbies. 20% for your future, savings, investing, debt payments. If your numbers aren't perfect, that's okay. The point isn't perfection, it's awareness. Once you see where your money goes, you can start adjusting it like a volume knob instead of hitting mute on your lifestyle. Cell phone tools that make it easy. If tracking expenses sounds painful, let apps do the work. Try Mint, You Need a Budget, YNAB, or even a simple Google Sheet. Link your accounts, categorize spending, and check in once a week. That's it. You'll start to see patterns, like, whoa, I spent $120 on delivery this month. No shame, just awareness. And awareness creates change. Light bulb. Here's a quick story. Meet Marcus. He used to feel broke every Friday, even though he earned decent money. He thought budgeting meant giving up fun, until he tried the 50-30-20 method. After a few months, Marcus realized his wants were eating into his savings. So he made one small change, swapped takeout for cooking twice a week and put that $60 into savings. Within 6 months, he had $1,500 set aside. Now he travels twice a year, guilt-free, because he planned for it. That's what budgeting gives you, control without guilt. You're not punishing yourself, you're prioritizing what matters most. So, don't think of budgeting as a fence, think of it as a framework. It's not about cutting back, it's about building forward. When you tell your money where to go, it stops controlling you, and that's real financial freedom. If you've made it this far, you already get it. Your 20s aren't about being perfect with money. They're about starting, building small, steady habits that compound into something massive over time. Let's zoom out for a second. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to master a few key moves. Money bag first, build your emergency fund, your peace of mind when life gets messy. Receipt second, tackle that high interest debt. Every payment is a step toward freedom. Upward trend third, start investing early, even if it's just $20 a month. Time is your secret weapon. Rocket fourth, work on increasing your income, Build skills, negotiate, and believe that you can earn more. Bar graph. And fifth, budget, not to limit yourself, but to finally direct your money where it matters most. C. The goal isn't perfection. You'll mess up, you'll spend too much some months, you'll get discouraged. That's normal. What matters is consistency, because consistent effort beats perfect effort every single time. Think about it like this. You don't get fit from one great workout, you get fit from showing up. Money works the same way. It's not about one big move, it's about showing up for your future self over and over again. So if you're waiting for the right time to start, this is it. Start with what you have, where you are, and let time do the rest. Even the smallest step, opening a savings account, paying down a bill, or investing your first $10, is massive when you do it consistently. Because the truth is, your financial freedom doesn't begin with a raise, or a windfall, or luck. It begins with you, right now. If this video helped you think differently about money, hit that subscribe button. It's free, but it's one of the smartest investments you can make for your future. We've got tons more videos coming to help you grow, earn, and build the life you want, one smart decision at a time. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, your 20s aren't about getting rich overnight. They're about building the habits that make you rich for life.